A few days ago, I saw one popular blogger ask a very uncomfortable question. Is it okay to cut contact with your mother? And she shared that she cut contact with her mother at the age of 31 after years of therapy. And, a lot of people in comments judged her. But in my opinion, she said something very important. She said that for her, this decision was not about rejection, it was about self-love. And in this video, I wanted to share my experience navigating this topic because my journey goes deep and I really have something to say about this. And I want to state clearly at the very beginning that I respect any woman's decision and that this video is not about blaming mothers, and also it's not about telling you what to do. This video is about understanding why this topic is so important, why it hurts so deep, and what can actually bring healing. And also in this video, I'm going to speak about GSR method because this was the method that healed me and healed my relationship with my mother, and it impressed me so much that now I practice it professionally. Emotionally, my childhood was a deep black hole. My mother wasn't a safe place for me. She was fear, aggression, humiliation, constant tension, and my nervous system was always on high alert, and of course I was deeply traumatized. So deeply that for many years I couldn't acknowledge this. When I was younger, I used to say, I have a great mom and we have a great relationship. Or I used to say that I didn't have a father, although I actually did. Or I used to say, my parents' divorce just made me stronger. I understand now why I said so. For me, it was just a coping mechanism. It was survival. And also, I used to say, why look back? We should just all move forward. Because what can I say? Avoidance is also a trauma response. In therapy, I understood why I didn't want to remember my childhood, because actually nothing in my adult life was as scary as what I went through back then. But my childhood held very important answers. Why in my adult life I struggled so much with self-worth? Why I had such problematic relationships, and why in general life felt like so much effort. And also, as I reflected upon this, I saw the bigger picture. I remember that my mother had a lot of conflicts with her mother, with my grandmother, and my grandmother had a very bad relationship with her mother. So I saw that it was a family pattern that repeated itself across generations. It was like a cycle that shaped the way we related to each other. And that was when I realized how deeply wounded I actually was. Traditional therapy helped me a lot. It made me realize that, first, I'm not guilty. Secondly, my reactions make sense. And three, I deserve safety and respect. I learned about boundaries and I learned how to protect myself. And from this place, I decided to go no contact with my mother for 12 years. And now I'm going to say something super important. Going no contact can bring you relief. And relief is super important sometimes. And it feels so good when nobody is triggering your pain. But relief is not the same as healing. Please remember this, relief is not healing. Because after going no contact with my mother, I felt relief, yes, but I still felt unloved, not enough, deeply flawed. Because my inner critic didn't go away. This inner voice that sounded like her didn't go away. Relief is not the same as healing. So, one day I decided to try a GSR session. And when I came to my first GSR session, the practitioner suggested that we start with this mother wound. And at first I resisted, but then I decided to go with it, and something unbelievable happened. Only after 2 hours of session, my inner world totally shifted. For the first time in my life, I felt like a loved daughter. And it wasn't an idea, it was a felt sense. It landed in my body. My body, my deep inner world recognized safety for the first time in my life. And it was a huge shock because a lot of pain just went away into hours. You know, this experience didn't mean that I rushed to reconnect because it wasn't my goal at the time. But you know, we did reconnect very naturally a few years later. And you know what I noticed? My mother didn't change, but I did. So much. My wounds healed, and she didn't trigger me anymore. And instead of drama, there was calm. There was a very adult love, acceptance, and genuine interest to each other. You know, mother wound is a core wound, and when you heal it, your relationships with the world change. The conflict goes away. And when I healed this wound, I had so much new energy and so much new clarity that first of all, I moved to another country, which was a big step for me, and it was my dream. I changed my job. Now I'm a GSR practitioner, which is the job of my dreams. My finances improved greatly and without burnout. My relationships with men improved. And you see, I now see that support replaced struggle. And you know, this is what real healing looks like. You know, before GSR, I tried a lot. I tried therapy. I tried retreats. I tried spiritual practices and different kinds of energy work. And you know, it all was good. It all helped me cope. But all these practices didn't heal the root. Only GSR could do this because GSR method reaches where other practices can't. And you know, at the end of this video, I want to say the following. Sometimes distance is really necessary, but true healing comes not from cutting people off. It comes from healing something that lives inside you. And if this video resonates with you, and if you want to heal your mother wound, I now guide women through this process using GSR method, the same method that helped me heal so deeply. And you can explore a session with me today.